Hey guys, this is Adam with Blue Line Flies, coming at you with another episode from our Instagram page where we asked you guys what kind of flies you'd like to see us tie. So this one, we're going to be tying the mini meat. So this is a streamer that we sell, available at bluelineflies.com. Comes in two different colors. Today we're going to be tying the bow color, so it's going to imitate a baby rainbow. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. One of the easiest articulated patterns that you'll ever tie. Super simple little fly. It's one of the reasons it's been popular. And it's cheap to tie, and you can tie it in any color under the sun. The only material in this fly is marabou. So I've got some olive marabou that we're going to do the back with. So this is the rear hook we're going to tie first. Lay that marabou out and just kind of measure it up. Just tie it right on towards the front of the hook there. And you do want to make sure it kind of wraps a little bit around the top of the hook. And I'm not going to get too technical here with these, trimming out these butts, but just going to make a couple of rough cuts here at first just to go ahead and get them out of my way. Done, so that's the back, and now we're just going to do the belly with a piece of white marabou. Just going to get that to split the hook there, lay that in. Just going to trim this up so that we can see the hook eye. There we go. So that's the rear hook. Nothing more to it than that. So when I used to teach a lot of fly tying classes, when I would, this would be one of the first flies that we would tie to teach how to do an articulated pattern. The articulation on this one is, of course, it's a super easy fly and just a good one to start learning how to articulate a fly with. So we're going to drop just a little bit of glue on here. Not super important, but if you are selling your flies, you don't want them to come apart, or even if you're tying them for yourself to use, you don't want to have a fly come apart on you for no good reason. So we're going to put this aside. That's just the trailer hook. So now I've got another hook going up here at the front. So these are both of these hooks are the exact same. This is a size 8 Gamakatsu stinger hook, or you'll also just hear them referred to them by their code name for Gamakatsu is B10S. So that's all we're using. Same hook, front and rear. Now I do use a little bit of glue here anytime I'm doing an articulation, and just gives me a little more peace of mind that rear hook is going to stay connected and the articulation is going to stay connected. Originally designed this pattern when a buddy that I was fishing with wanted to try to throw some streamers on a smaller rod, and I was like, well dang, maybe I need to downsize my streamers a little bit. So did that, came up with this. So there's the bead we're going to use. So what you're going to do is I tie that wire in on my side. Just thread that bead on there. Take that trailer hook and slide it on. Go back through that bead. Cinch that down. Just take that thread and just tie in that other portion of it. There we go. Use your wire cutters to just trim that down. These wire cutters are a little overkill for this smaller wire, but definitely tie some flies for you need those big cutters for. So just going to make a couple more thread wraps over that articulation to make sure it holds nice and tight. Now we're going to work our way up to the front. So give you guys a pointer here on this. Let's go ahead and start thinking about our head spacing. It's an easy one for beginners to mess up, is to get your thread spacing where you'll end up crowding the eye of the hook. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to be using these fish skull from Flymenco eyes. These are the 5 mils, the really small ones. So what you can do is go ahead and grab the little sheet of the eyes. I've got 2 eyes left here. So hold them up in behind your hook from you, so you can kind of gauge how large that eye is on that hook, and then work your thread to where it meets right where about that eye is going to sit. So that way you know how large that eye is on your hook. So now that's where we know we need to tie in our next, the rest of our fly. So we don't really want to go in front of this point where we brought our thread to. So I'm going to make a couple thread wraps back. Get our next piece of olive here and go ahead and lay that in. We've got our olive down. Now we're going to do our white on the bottom again, just like we did that first hook. Make sure you throw your scissors on the floor halfway through your tying video. Now just flip that fly upside down. We've got our white marabou here. We're going to split the hook with it so that it's on either side. Go ahead and measure that out. I tie the white in just a little short of the olive. Make sure you keep holding that thing, keep some pressure on it, because it's going to want to spin and push those white fibers and those olive ones together. So I'm not going to trim these fibers too close. I'm going to actually use them just to help me build a little bit of bulk for the head. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a minute. And last, I have a little bit of pink. So this is going to give it that rainbow color. This is where having a rotary vise is really helpful for you, so that you can make sure that you're getting it tied in right on all sides. So I'm going to tie it in on one side here, close to me. Trim those butts to match the others. There you go, there's a good look at it. Now we're going to do the other side. That marabou's a little messy right now, but we'll get that cleaned up in a sec. We're just going to wrap over all those tips. That helps just build a little bit more of a body underneath that thread to help hold the head. One of my staples is a little comb like this that I like to just brush all this stuff together with. Makes it flow a little better. Just make sure none of them are kinked up in there. Perfect. There we go. Alright, So now we're done. We're just going to go ahead and whip finish the head here. So that's the entire body. Pretty simple, am I right? So now we're going to attach the eyes. So these eyes do have sticky backs on them, but it's not enough. I just toss in a little bit of Loctite super glue. So what we're going to do is put a dot of super glue on each side of the hook. Just go side to side with the eyes. So we're going to take one eye, place it on there. And I like to use my bodkin to help me. So I've got a sharp point on that side and a little flat spot on this one. So we'll take that little flat spot there and arrange it on the fly. And now we'll do the same with the other side. Same thing, we're just going to take this little piece right here. You look at it from the top, you can make sure that they're even. Fish don't care if he's a little cross-eyed, but you do. Alright, we're going to let that dry for just a sec. We don't want to go to the next step until that super glue's a little dry. Alright, now that super glue's dry, our next step is we're just going to add a little bit of the UV Cure from Loon. So this is the thick viscosity. I like the really thick ones to help build these heads up. It just take you a lot more time to use the thin. But see that little gap here in the eyes? So we're just going to start right there. Just right in between the eyes and just start building up a little bit of a head with it. I like to hold this marabou up so that it gets caught in this cure, so that it's just sticking up instead of laying backwards. There we go. So this is going to be good for the first layer. You don't want to get it too thick or else it won't, the whole thing won't cure. So we're just going to do it layer by layer. So now that's kind of flat. Now we're just going to round it out just a little bit with a little bit more. Perfect. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing to the bottom. Just going to continue adding a little bit more bulk with this UV Cure. That looks good. Go ahead and hit that with some white too. Alright. Next, we are going to take the UV Thin and just go all the way around. Connect these two together. If you have any kind of weird holes or spots or anything, just fill them in with that. Then hit it with the light. There we have it. Done with the mini meat. Cool little fly, because you can fish it even on a 3-weight. Throw it for bass, brim, trout. Kind of change up the colors. I'd like to see what other colors you guys decide to come up with. Please tie some and tag us in them on Instagram at @BlueLineCo_. Also, follow us here on our YouTube channel for more fly tying videos like these. And we really appreciate all the guys that gave us feedback on our Instagram. We definitely want to keep seeing what you guys want us to tie. So we're going to keep doing a few more of these. I've got a few more from the Instagram that we're going to go ahead and tie here this evening. So keep checking back with us. We'll have more of these. You can find the mini meat for sale if you don't want to tie it yourself at bluelineflies.com. These are in stock in 2 different colors, and hopefully have a few more colors coming out soon. Well, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the water.